Soleo Fry Isolation Mation.
No.
Great to be back with y'all, Punky Brewsters. It's wonderful to be here on the Social Distancing Social Club with you. I'm Ben Gleib. I am one of the legs of a many-legged creature that creates together a splendid a show that's not on television for you to not enjoy on your television screen, unless you're casting it, in which case that's you, but that's not where we're really originally broadcasting from, and we can't really account for every variable. I think you know that. In the intro, especially. Otherwise, this intro would be clunky, and we don't have time for that. So please now, on that very polished note, welcome the incredibly polished and New York dwelling Steve Hofstetter.
I'm not dwelling. I'm just visiting here, but
Oh, okay.
still, visiting family. I don't know why this show wouldn't be on television. It's so smooth.
Damn right, man. It's like a sheer lady leg. From those
Ladies
commercials.
and gentlemen, if you want to support the show, please do so. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You could PayPal at stscshow.com. Of course, you could super chat on the YouTube. I am coming to you right now from a conference room that has giant glass walls that everybody walking by can see, and it's real weird. It's real weird. I feel like I'm broadcasting in a fishbowl. Please
and
welcome.
Steve will be doing crack cocaine this episode for the first time.
Please welcome Chris Powers.
Ow, wow.
Hey, what's up? I'm pretty sure our show isn't on TV because of all the horse fucking and everything else that we talk about. It does not do TV well. And secondly, Steve, just put on pants; they'll stop watching you. That's what I've learned through the pandemic. Queen Rachel's here. Rach, how are you doing?
Queen.
I stole Sammy Obeid's background. I saw the virtual blurriness, and I was like, let me try that.
Oh yeah.
Look.
By the way, as you said that, Bowers, Brad Clark in the chat said, Brian O'Connor said that I should take my pants off so that everybody who was walking by could see, but you guys couldn't. And no, I would be thrown out.
Would actually like to take another take on that. I feel like if you took your pants off, everybody walking by would not be able to see because they'd be blinded.
Do you think that my dick is like the suitcase in
Way too early.
Captain
to talk about
Shiny
your
Dick.
I'm
Captain
referring to
Shiny Dick.
pasty legs, pasty white legs.
I just want to point out also that these glass walls are not soundproof. This is going to be everybody here.
As long as you don't point it out with your actual fingers.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting in the 1800s people used to use Steve's penis as a lighthouse? Is that what you're saying?
It was actually Paul Revere's original ride. Hey-o.
No, we're 3 minutes in. Can we stop talking about
Steve
this?
Hofstetter is coming. Steve Hofstetter is coming. I get it.
One if by land and two if by thee.
Hofstetter makes the British come because the only people who are attracted to people as pale as him.
I'm getting thrown out of this hotel very shortly.
Steve's fingers does an impression of British teeth, and they think it's an honor.
I really should have done this show with headphones on today. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yep. Pussy!
We did have a fun overnight game. The overnight game was, why is Bowers not allowed in Ben's pool? I thought that was a fun that was a fun game topic. So let's see. Pint-sized one had did you see the episode where he drank all the green juice? Yeah, that makes sense. You wouldn't let me in the pool after that. Gus said, I heard a rumor that Ben's pool was filled with lettuce. That would mean why I wouldn't go. Why you wouldn't let me? But
That is party.
Dwayne Cassie said, if Ben can't have sex in his pool, neither can Bowers. That was the good one, because if I got the pool, I would fuck in there.
Have I ever told you guys about my 20s and 30s?
Yes. I mean, you have a lot of stories about not getting laid. I've not heard one where you got.
Because it's uncouth to tell the getting laid stories. And also because Sally Field just will never know what it is.
We had a Night King game as well. We had some really fun
Night King?
The Night King. So I really liked Cynthia's Gone with the Windsor.
What was the game again? We forgot the game. What was the game again?
I'm sorry. I probably should say that. It's
That's
Royal
proof that Rachel's not a comic, that she doesn't realize the premise has to come before the jokes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Night King game was make a movie more like royal British. So I liked Cynthia's Gone with the Windsor. And I
Nice.
also liked Frankie Berman's, this one's terrible, so that way I didn't choose it to win, but Princess Die Hard 2. Die Hard.
You ever consider naming her Princess Liv? That would have been maybe better.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned that the royal family can see the future, but go ahead.
Yeah.
The winner is Kevin Machacek. I don't remember his name, but
It's like hot chick. My hot chick. Yeah.
okay. It's 127 heirs instead of hours. I thought
Nice.
I really liked it. So congratulations to our new Night King, Ken Machacek.
You've won the
you
prize. Free ticket to the front row, free ticket to nowhere, and you are the Night King for the next 24 hours. Congratulations.
48 hours.
Nope, today's Tuesday.
Oh, you're right. I'm gonna go.
Understandable.
I have a show tomorrow. What's happening? Anyway, what's today's game, Steve?
All right, today's game. Sorry, I thought it was Wednesday. It's been a busy week. Today's game, what we're doing is because this is normally tax week, although it is kind of tax week this week because of the delays of the pandemic and all that stuff. But anyway, the point is what we're going to do is we're going to take a television show and we're going to make it more government. We're going to put the government into a television show because they got their hands in everybody's business. So the way it works is, like, for instance, the Golden Parachute Girls. Or the electric grid is run by a private company.
Or the, what was one of the ones I gave an example of?
I don't know, but you should interrupt me to see what it was. Or another example.
Oh wait, I thought of one, Steve, but I haven't thought of it yet. Let me think real fast. Hang on.
Got it.
To think of what I was going to think of, and then I'll think of it, and then I'll say it. What was yours, Ben?
How I didn't get anything done with your mother.
Nice. And then also, Yo DMV Raps. Anyway, the point is, take the name of a television show. I thought that was a better one than you guys did. Take the name of a television show, make it more governmental, and you can comment on any of our feeds. But if you want yours to count toward the prize at the end of the show, as well as having a much better chance of being read on air, what you do is you comment with a tip of at least $5, a super chat, a PayPal, or a Venmo. We'll read those at the end, and as always, if you are in our insanely enormous front row today, you get up to 3 entries for free. Holy shit, the front row is big today.
Yes, indeed, that is true. And before we get to that front row, I've got to show you guys some incredible gifts and props that were sent to me by our incredible front row planning committee. So incredible. First of all, you guys gave Henry 2 bags of K9 carry-out hot dog minis. Henry, you want a cookie? Come here, Bubba. He already loves these. You also gave Henry a hot dog plush toy that Taylor, if you don't mind sharing the photo of. It's the most adorable thing, and he's in love with it already and won't let go of it most of the day. Boom. Henry, come get a cookie. You also sent me something that is ruining my physique worse than it already is. A box of hot dog gummies are both the tastiest and hardest gummies you'll ever chew. And I've been eating them because they're so good, and every time right after, my body's like, no, and I have another.
Yeah. Ben, by the way, just a heads up, those do not have any THC in them.
I'm going to slow down on those a little bit.
You sure those aren't also dog treats, Ben? Maybe that's why they're so chewy.
You guys also sent me very, very kindly. This is, by the way, my champion box for winning the hot dog eating contest. It's not just randomly all hot dog themed, I don't think. You sent me for Henry a little dog kerchief that says hot diggity dog and BBQ. You sent me Joey Chestnut, world's greatest eater classic coney sauce.
Ah, nice.
Look at
That's
that.
awesome.
You sent me this Joey Chestnut card right here. I got an official Joey Jaws Chestnut card where he wants feedback on his products that I definitely won't be giving on his website. You've given me the gift of
Wait,
life.
Ben, he took the time to come on our show, and you're like, I'm not going to write about his product.
Okay, I will say that I will. We've also got 2 containers of Nathan's Deli style mustard. I love that shit.
Wait, Brad in the chat just pointed out You're passing on the opportunity to give notes.
I don't give notes to nuts. Anyway, you also gave me Ow My Butt Hurts hot dog helper.
Is that like a? Oh,
Pretty incredible. And you gave me perhaps the most exciting item, my Isolation Nation's hot dog champ mug.
oh, that's cute.
That is awesome.
Oh, nice.
Super cool. And then I also just quickly want to thank Bunst for sending me the prop of the month. Dear Karma, I have a list of people you missed napkins. And this incredible bracelet that you made for me out of incredible rare stones, and it has 4 silver balls on the bottom of it, as she told me to represent the 4 legs of the quarantine, which is pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
And also, Bunt sent me straight from Maine, official Maine organic maple syrup, and a Maine Sugar House treat moose head.
And what
Wait.
did I give you that I
Wait.
had been waiting a month to give you?
Yep, and Bunt sent me Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail 72 by Hunter S. Thompson. I have to read because of my campaign. And gave me Shackleton, which I've already cracked open. It is the tastiest scotch I've ever had. Usually I like bourbon and whiskey more because it's a little less like harsh. This is smooth, a little creamy even. It is delicious. So I will be having a drinking problem very shortly.
Ben,
Yep.
are you okay with jewelry that's made of our balls?
Cute, Steve, except for the fact that this card from Bunster literally says, "Hey Ben, what's in the box?" And then it says about the syrup and the sugar mousse, and then the bracelet that says 3 black web jasper and hermatite bracelet, guaranteed no Steve bits. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. Otherwise, I wouldn't put it on my damn wrist. I don't trust any of you people. And lastly, the most incredible gift probably out of all of these incredibly generous, touching gifts. I made a whole like show of this to show Carmel yesterday. You also gave me this that I did unwrap and rewrap so I could open it again on the air. I might even have to use it on air today because it's so fucking incredible. Is this a glass? A glass hot dog? You're damn right it is, except when you look closely, it is a glass hot dog marijuana pipe.
Oh my god.
Sweet. That is awesome.
I am so touched. I couldn't love it more. Thank you, Front Row Planning Committee.
Congratulations.
Thank you all. You guys are fantastic. Thank you, Bunst. Incredible.
Hey, and I got some presents too yesterday, but I'm going to talk about those tomorrow now because I don't want to. Ben got so many presents. We did have some new patrons on the Patreon. So Greg's Burn Jackson joined the Patreon. James Nielsen is the pin level. Thank you so much. And Brian O'Connor jumped up to the top level. So Brian, we appreciate you jumping up to that level.
Yo, merch.
Yeah, CEO of merch, and also as Ben was talking about his new hot dog pipe, security walked by eyeing me suspiciously. So this is gonna be
How was
how
it?
long
How,
I last on this one.
how was it the first time someone eyed you ever suspiciously, Steve? That's probably never happened to you. I bet.
Drugs,
like a bad
drugs,
boy.
drugs.
Domestic terrorism.
By the way, something believable. Come on, look at me. Insider trading. Yeah.
Welcome to the small penis committee. Small penis committee here. Small penis, no?
Yeah, good
Is that
try.
Fair enough.
Okay.
None of us can relate to that, Rachel. And
Now the guards just walked away.
by the way, I guess they don't want that little dick. And I just noticed the mustard, by the way, it says sold as set. Do not separate. What would happen? What would happen?
The mustards be real sad. You ever saw that?
And on that note, please turn on your cameras, video front row, join the party. It's time to meet the Isolation Nation in person and in effect. We're very excited to have all of you here. You guys are the absolutely grandest. You're 300 grand. We are joined first and foremost by Brian Civils. I think is how you say it. O'Connor. I'm sorry. O'Connor. Brian.
Nicely done, Ben. That was.
What a joke. That took 4.5 months to set up, but you paid worth it.
And we got Casavals. you should spell it O'Connor and I would get it right. It's on you, Cass. We've got Craig Burns Jackson, Feel the Burns. And his background is definitely backwards, so it can't be read by anybody.
Oh no.
I think you can
Chris
mirror your
Farley-
background maybe or
Wait,
something.
Chris Farley, Harambe, and DMX watching the SDSC comics say what we're thinking, only funnier.
Nice job.
What a combo that is.
Your rule of three's had a real long timeline there, guy. Somebody died like 6 years ago. Anyway.
I love it. I love it. We are joined by Chris LaBelle, who is still, I'm so sorry, not reconciled with the fan. He's creating beautiful music with that guitar there, his new boo.
I heard LaBelle and the fan were actually sleeping in separate rooms right now. It's very.
He's been very cool to him lately.
Well, the fan caught him stroking the guitar. So
Yep. But we all know eventually he's gonna go back to the fan, and then his guitar will just gently weep.
Tam just said she blew him off. Oh my God.
We are joined by Timothy Brown, everybody. SDSC is people. It's people.
Silent green screen.
That's a pretty cool poster, and I did not know that we had that shirt either. That's a cool shirt too. We have that shirt.
You
Yes.
said that the last time I wore this shirt.
Well,
You want me to send you the link? I can send
please,
you
I would love that.
Tell it to Steve.
Actually, maybe if you could email Steve, and then he'll text me to remind him to email him again, then he can email me a second.
I had emailed him about the other thing, so I'll email you about that.
Perfect. We are joined by Joe Payne. He's back. Great to have you
What's up,
back,
buddy?
Payne.
No!
That's why they call him Window Pane. We've got Josepha Jojo Snyder in the house. Great to have you, Josepha. We are joined by Mike Cuniff with the SCAFBACKROUND.
Nicely done.
Brad Clark joining us with an aerial shot of a glass of coffee freshly stirred.
That was a fart. Looks like a fart.
Oh, God. We've got Aranka Haneke joining us. Great to have you, dear friend of ours. We are joined by Jillian Cardillo. I'm assuming it's Cardillo and not Cardillo, but it could be Cardillo. Is it Cardillo? Nope, it's Cardillo. It's very important to me to get everybody's last name correct, so I want to make We've got Patrick Yoakley in the house. Patrick, great to have you. I'm not saying I'm getting too familiar with the details of all of your lives and backgrounds, but you've replaced your violin with the head of a guitar and some weird feather thing. Ooh,
Oh.
that looks.
The tail.
Porcupines.
Is that a
You
tail?
wear
Of some-
tail?
Probably the tail of
Looks
some animal.
ceremonial of some sort.
Hmm.
Like he skinned a
Sorry,
hedgehog.
all my icons were having trouble. This is actually called a pokey roach. It's actually a headdress,
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
and this is actually deer fur.
Deer fur.
Oh.
Look like
What's a
Cool.
deer fur?
Isn't that in Sudan?
deer.
Deer hair, deer fur.
That is pretty damn cool. And by the way, this is 2021, my friend. All of our icons are having trouble. We've got Curtis Mason joining us. Not only was he the Night King, he's now the Burger King as well. Oh, he's passing off. There's the 72 hours, not
Nice. I love it.
48. The 72-hour Night King. I love that. We might have to make a crown pass around a thing here. Oh, I like the Raiders hat too.
The best time to become the Night King is Saturday's episode, I guess.
That is.
So true.
That is. Or according to Steve, Tuesday's episode.
Yeah, whenever.
We've got Frank Berman, who's now showing us both glares on the background, so he's really trying to me today. We get double glare, double your pleasure. We've got Jan Skittles Johnson. She's put on lipstick for us today. She's fancying it up. Kind of a goth black lipstick, too. I like everything we're seeing here. We've got David Kelly coming to us from the set of the one show he's ever produced, Ally McBeal. Great to have you, David. Love how your background's lit and you're dark as can be. It's very. We've got LJ Mutts and stuff coming to us from an open thing with the fish and the thing, but he's lit good. Great to have you, LJ. We've got Anna Hood joining us from the beach that comes preloaded onto all of our computers. Great to have you.
That beach is the U2 album version of a background.
Yeah, it is. And we still haven't found what I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Except we like that beach thing. We like the beach thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's the difference.
True that. True that. We got Sean Ehrlich coming to us with the blues in his main set. It's great to have you back where you belong. What's the first book you got there? The Politics of Fatherhood by Paul Reiser. Politics of Fair Trade.
By Sean Ehrlich.
It's his own book. Is at the front of his bookcase.
Oh, is that your book? Nice.
His book. Nice work.
Sean, who would put their own stuff on camera? That's ridiculous.
Learned it from you.
Yeah, Steve's not doing that today, but it's shameless to do it. It's honestly shameless.
Just text 4848. Text book to 484848 and Steve will send you his book. It's good.
We are joined today by the Washington Post, our new sponsor, the Washington Post. Democracy Dies in Darkness. We are joined by Emile Ronald. She wasn't Emile, and now she is. Times they are a-changin'. We're joined by Ray Benjamin, who's also got some kind of a long feather thing on his shoulder. Is that your hair?
That's his Roy.
Is it ceremonial? I could see that. We're joined by JP Sleepy Bear and his dog Spot. Got Frank Notaro joining us, and I wouldn't say angles is the problem today as much as framing. Frank's like, is this a good situation here where I'm barely in it? Is this kind of... Frank thinks he has to fit the whole video front row in his frame. It's not how it works. We've got Jason Bolish coming to us from his room where the eggs get taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't really.
It's where the magic happens.
That's right.
I don't want to see the egg extraction room. That's a sad room. But.
Yep. It's only 3% what they do. We've also got Terry Hagenkamp joining us. I don't see a video on, but nonetheless, Terry is here. We've got Blue Corner Bill joining us vertically to show the height of that majestic tree, and he's back. Great to have you, Bill. We've got Ralph Beachweather joining us with some zinc on his nose. He's living it up. Oh my God, that wolf is back. Shitting wolf is back. Always be scared of a shitting wolf. Never disturb a shitting wolf. We all know that. Although Shitting Wolf was one of my favorite bands in the 70s. We got Cassie Nolan joining us, everybody. Great to have you, Cassie. We also, last but certainly not leads.
I'm
We've
not
got
last.
leads. Leedy Corbin is here. Joining us. Leedy's been conveniently ignoring my texts for 2 days. I have to call around that on camera now to get that to stop.
Sorry.
Leedy's also not last, Ben.
And we're joined by someone who's never ignored my texts, mostly because I don't know who it is. He's wearing a mask and glasses, and his name's just Michael. It's Michael.
Is that it, Rach? We found everybody?
Yes.
All right, we got two great comics as always. Jen Murphy is back. Jen, how are you doing?
Murph.
Hi, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be back. I'm performing a seance in my
I was
room
gonna say, you having a
a
seance?
little bit later. But I made time for you guys first.
I
so.
appreciate it. Sammy Obeid's back too. Sammy, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sorry, I put on blue light glasses just because everybody's talking about Steve possibly exposing himself, so I just wanted to be safe.
That's good. And also, Jen, could you do a seance for all the jokes that die during this episode? I would appreciate it.
We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time.
Are we gonna start having an in memoriam section at the end of the show of all the jokes that died during the show?
just play sad Sarah McLachlan music. It'll be great.
Yes. And also, did Rachel just put on black lipstick in honor of Jan Skittles Johnson?
Yeah, it's definitely not a filter.
Not a filter. Jan's wasn't a filter either. When she turned her head, it was on her cheek, and then went back and it was on her face. So I kind of gave it
That's
away.
hilarious.
It was. Let's do a couple generals. Ben Alexander Breyer said only 10 minutes and 3.9 seconds to do the front row, and it was a big good job, Ben.
Who's good at doing the front row?
Don't make me smoke my hot dog to cope.
By the way, Tam said, and we saw Jen had her baby. Saunderson had her baby.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Which also, I've never seen somebody announce that in such a ridiculous and funny way. She didn't post, "I've had my baby." She posted, "I'm no longer pregnant."
That's hilarious.
Oh, the amount of people who went immediately to like it and then had to pause for a minute.
I know. It threw me off for a second. I was like, oh, okay. There's pictures of a baby there. Great.
Just be like, wait, how many months has it been? 9? Okay, it's okay.
Bunch said she freaking loves the idea of getting Steve kicked out of the hotel, banned in 7 hotels. And then Breyer wanted me to say really loud, "So much for the crack."
Steve is going to be banned on the run.
Be like, no, this is a New York hotel. You can have crack. There are things you can.
Yeah, usually for Steve to leave a hotel, someone has to get murdered. So him just getting thrown out.
That was also New York, just upstate.
Here's how you get kicked out of a New York hotel. It's so clean. It's very clean in this conference room.
And last two from Master General Technics. Shout out to Brian Civils, Cassavas, and Mr. Gleib, and Framey Angles Corner Camera Champion.
Nice. Also, Taylor and Ben, you missed Lindsay. She's here as well today.
Oh yeah.
Oh snap!
Yeah, we missed it.
It's difficult when there's a front row that's 75 people deep. Like it gets a
We
little.
might miss some people. So Lindsay Brown's here. Good to see you, Lindsay. We appreciate it.
Lindsay, hello. I didn't even know what Lindsay meant. What up, Brown?
All right, we'll get there. There she is. Boom.
She has 2 entries. That's why.
There's Lindsay.
Hello, Lindsay.
Good to see you, Lindsay. Cool. Are we caught up, Rach?
Caught up.
All right, let's get to a set coming up right now. Jen Murphy, everybody. Woo!
Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting that. That was exciting. I'm so happy to be back here. It hasn't been that long, but it's always fun. I'm very excited. I hope I don't get judged, but I sat inside at a bar recently, so it was very exciting. It was very safe, but I forgot how awkward it is. I was watching sports, but forgot how awkward it is in bars when sports are on television, but then they've got music blasting in the background. Like, I like basketball because I'm single and I think the men are hot, but there's nothing weirder than watching like some hot basketball player like going up for a layup and you've got Justin Bieber's like, "I'm so lonely." Another television had the UFC on, which if you don't hear the sound to that, just looks like some long infomercial for like tantric sex. Never had a man be as passionate about me as those guys are. Like their legs are wrapped around. Like if you didn't know what it was, if you had never heard of the UFC, you'd be like, "What? Love making in this bar? What is happening?" It's like soft porn. So I'm back, trying to pick up some men. So I'm in my 40s, and I feel like I have like a new lease now on a little bit of sluttiness. Because before the pandemic, I was like, I am too old to like go out and, have a one night stay. I just felt, I'm probably not, I don't know. I was feeling too old. But then once the pandemic hit and I've been alone through this whole thing, now I'm like, well, nobody's going to judge me. So now I go out and pick up some, right? We just get a new lease on. Anyway, ladies, you can use that too if anybody out there is. I just had a birthday and I am in my mid 40s. I had a friend of mine give me a challenge The challenge is 50 before 50. I wasn't going to do it, but I don't know. I'm reconsidering now. The more basketball I watch, the more I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Getting hornier. One of my good friends, I don't use vibrators. I've just never been into it. I kind of prefer the real thing. But one of my friends during the pandemic, she sent me one. She's like, you need this. You just have to use it. And I'm like, I can't keep that stuff in my house. Because I just have this huge fear that like I die and my mom has to like come clean out my place. And she'll just be like, oh, like she had a fake dick and an empty bank account. Like, close to that. I wish I could. I don't know. I'm single. I'm not good at relationships. I don't think I'm that neat. I don't know. I don't need that much. I just want a guy who can like afford to take me to one of those restaurants where like they take the poop out of the shrimp before they Not too much to ask for, right? I'll say one other thing before I go. I'm ashamed to admit this, but I think COVID was the first time I actually washed both hands after I went to the bathroom. Anytime I've gone pee, I'm one of those girls. I use one hand to turn on the faucet and then I stick the other one under and swish it around. I just use the hand that I wipe with. I mean, I never saw any reason to wash the other one. Like all it did was just hold up my skirt. You know what I mean? Anyway, I've probably said too much. I love being here, guys. Thank you so much. My name's Jen Murphy.
Jen Murphy. Everybody. Jen Murphy. Tip jar is open. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You could PayPal at stscshow.com. Of course, you can super chat on the YouTube. By the way, I mean, my bracket was terrible, but it sounds like Jen won the NCAA tournament. Also, by the way, Jen, I don't know. I'm not much of a UFC fan, but you've never watched the Universal fucking Championship before?
The ugly fucking championship.
And I didn't care if you washed both hands till you told me you didn't use a vibrator. Now I want you to wash both your hands.
Oh my God.
Got 3 questions about Jen.
Only use one finger. It's the same hand. It's the same hand that I used to wipe. I'm just a right-hand girl. That's it.
I also love, Jen, though, that you think washing your hand is just quickly running it underwater. Soap doesn't need to be involved.
Never.
And what you do with one hand, you just do this.
Yeah, I do.
Also, I love, not all of our fingers move the way yours do, Steve. But also,
turns out I can make the sound of one hand clapping.
Also, I love that, Jen, your justification for not having a vibrator is I just kind of prefer the real thing. Everybody prefers the real thing. That's like saying I prefer filet mignon, so I will mostly never eat.
I don't know.
I'm actually trying to have 50 filet mignons by the time I'm 50.
Yes.
Now, that's my question, Jen. Is it 50 new people before?
Yeah, 50 starting now, or
your old numbers count? Like, are you almost there, or?
Okay, that was my first question. I almost no. But I'm allowed to sleep with somebody I already slept with. They can but I have to sleep with them now.
Gotcha.
So if any of you get a call, you'll know why.
So I was gonna say, Murph. Otherwise, you would have to find some loopholes to cross some people off the list. No?
I have a question. Do women count?
Yes. It's just people.
Oh shit!
50 before 50.
Queen Rachel's interested, Jen.
All
And by the way, Jen, I have a feeling that just like the rest of your life, you're going to fuck 49 people the night before this is due. You're going to procrastinate, fuck one person the next 5 years.
We actually, we have a couple fans in their 50s who think they can do it somehow.
I love it. 50 before you're 50.
I appreciate your support, though, guys.
How much time do you have to pull this off? You don't have to answer that, but
5 years. It's only 10 years.
Approximately The number that's on my hand.
Yeah. So that's you know, you can
10
take,
a year, that ain't bad.
you can take December and January off, just one a month for the 5 years. That's not bad.
Yeah, if you broke it down, it's not that bad.
All you have to do is just not like anybody or become attached or have any repeat business. You have to say, I like you, but leave me alone. I gotta move on.
Like, I
really
like
need
you,
to
but I'll
do
see
is
you in
just-
4.5 years. I got things to do.
That's right.
I really just need to become a road comic again. Is what I need to do.
But I've heard that's not true for lady comics. Is that not your experience? I've so many lady comics be like, I wish I was a male comic. I could just. I've heard lady comics that's not as accurate.
Yeah, no, it's not really because it's a little creepy. But I mean, you
Well-
know, if I'm determined enough, it could be accurate.
Would do
Well,
it.
from what I have been told from female comics, that it's not that the opportunities aren't there. The opportunities are there. It's just the guys who hit on female comics after shows are horrific.
Well, I think generally the guys that hit on women in general aren't the guys women want to fuck normally.
That's also
right?
true.
Like generally the guys hitting on you are the ones you're like, get away from me. Generally, like it's I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same way that like every time my phone rings, I'm like, ugh, it's a fucking junk call. It's not the people you want to have.
Yeah. Are there any other guys here on the Zoom that want to chime in as to what's wrong with us guys? I'm curious.
Ben's almost had sex 3 times last year, so I think you can get 10 in a year. I think it's possible. I think you can really, if you really buckle down, you can get it done.
Ben's going for 1 under 43.
Ben's into
Let's
quality.
say, guys, times.
Quality.
What?
I said Ben's into quality, not quantity. That's all we're saying.
I'm just saying times they are changing, okay?
Oh. All right.
Well, guys, if you want to Venmo me, you might have a better chance. Anybody that's out there.
Do we have any? Do we have anyone trying to give tips to Jen?
Yeah, absolutely.
I give
So,
$700 in tips on the show.
we did have David Royce said 50 before 50. I volunteer as tribute. David Kelly gave you a tip, and then Greg Burns Jackson $10 for Jen. Good luck in your challenge.
Thank you.
I love the volunteers tribute. You can call it the horny games.
That's great.
May the cocks be ever in your favor.
May the cocks be hard in your favor.
I think it's ever in your flavor.
May the cocks be ever in your flavor. Do they come in flavors? Am I doing something wrong?
Definitely are.
I want.
Thank God I got barbecue sauce now. I got barbecue sauce. Ow! I also have ow my butt hurt sauce.
If you put ow my buttered sauce on your dick, I think something fun will happen. I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's actually a bottle of lube. Who knew?
Spicy lube.
By the way, if it has Scoville units on the side, don't use it.
LaBelle gave you $5 and said, I love this set, but I want to echo Bauer's advice. The last thing you want to do is cram it all in the night before.
I'm cramping for this.
That's awesome.
Also, in response to what Steve said about Scoville units, I just want to say I totally know what that is, and I'm not even more nervous now about trivia.
We got to get that set up, by the way.
I think
Kim
if
Stewart
Ben
sent you
wins,
$5.
if Ben writes the questions, he has a chance.
Still 50.
Still, even then, I only give him a 60% chance of beating Steve, and that's if Ben writes the questions.
Kim Stewart sent you $5 and said, you're never too old. Frankie Berman, $5. Great set. One hand is better than none.
Thank you. Glass is half full.
Sam Brown sent you $5 and said, poop free shrimp. You go on some fancy dates, but always wash both hands, please. Kim Stewart sent you another $5 and she said, I think I should take my first $5 back after the hand washing bit.
At the restaurants where they take the poop out of the shrimp, they have someone in the bathroom who washes your hands for you. It's super classy and nice.
I think it's funny that Jen wants someone to wash the shrimp, but she's not willing to wash the poop out of her hands.
She pees, Steve. It's just what she
I
pees.
specifically said only when I pee.
Sorry, my fault. In that case, it's fine.
We had Dana send you $5 and said, hysterical set. If it helps, after 50, I cease to give shits about what people find after I die. Maturity, no. Watching the assholes on reality TV convinces me that the skeletons in my closet are a joke.
Is that
Jen,
why
you can
Ben
also
always
call me-
wants people to close their closet door on the show?
And Jen, you can always have a sex toy buddy. I think we all had when you're single, you just have a sex toy buddy that just comes to your house and deletes your cookies and your internet browser history and takes all the vibrators out of your house when you die. It's just you just
That's
have
a great idea.
That's a
Yeah,
thing.
Bowers actually needs a 3-day lead time when he dies.
No, I've had that. Yeah, I've had plenty of people are going to clear my hard drive and clean out my nightstand specifically.
or just maybe.
Really good.
That's a great idea. But instead of clearing out your hard drive, just have them burn your computer.
It's a service. Taylor said it should be a service. It's a service called 1-800-GOT-PORN, and we just come over and delete all your shit when you're dead. It's just for $100.
Greg Burns said, purge my porn.
There you go.
Great name. And then we had Alexander Breyer tip you and said, here's to buying a cheap gigolo for the 50.
Hey, thanks, guys. You're so sweet.
Nice.
And then
So
we're
generous. I appreciate
Living
all the
rich.
advice too. I'll take it all in.
Yeah, you will.
Learn for somebody.
Living Rhythm sent you 5 Canadian, said, good set, good luck with the 50 before 50. Just make sure they aren't just tips.
Some of us are only tip, and I don't like the fact that you're judging me right now, so shut up.
Oh God.
Oh, Bowers.
And we're caught up.
All right, awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jen. All right, we want to get to another set. We ready for that? Let's do it. Coming up next, Sammy Obeid, everybody. Woo!
Hey, I'm coming live from a conference room as well. It's my mom's office. Yeah, I am staying with my family. My family's Palestinian. I'm smart. We're not all smart, but all Palestinians do know rocket science. Oh no, I think I'm not invited back. I'm so sorry. I am staying with my mom, and she gets on my case, like, if I don't clean up soon. Like, I have a very strict, like, cleanup policy. Like, I clean up any mess I make within 72 hours. That is my policy. I'm always good about it. But, like, the other day I was making pasta, like, the little alphabet shaped pastas. I still love that. And I was making it, and some fell on the counter, and she was like, clean it up. And, like, there was enough letters so I could spell to her, I'm a grown-ass man. So. Anymore. I have an older sister, so I'm a younger sibling. Any younger siblings in the house?
Hey.
All right, yeah. Just thought that wasn't like very attention craving like they say we are. See, it's not true. It's not true. The older siblings always give it like, oh, look at me, I'm the center of attention. I'm a younger sibling. I'm so spoiled. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm sorry that you weren't enough. Oh. Yeah, so I'm here, and also my sister has a daughter, so I'm here with my niece. She's 10 years old, and I think she just got her first period. I'm not really sure. The reason I think that is because the other night I heard my sister yelling, "Oh my God, you got your first period! Oh my God, you got your first period!" So I gave her a card on behalf of the whole neighborhood who heard as well. But of course, my niece having her first period, as the only man in the house, my job is to absolutely say nothing. Nothing. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, no, it's been good here. I lost 20 pounds over the quarantine. Yeah, I misplaced a dumbbell. Has anybody seen it? I haven't been dating. I was on Bumble for a while. Last time I met a girl. She was like, I'm from Portland. I'm a transplant. I was like, awesome. I've never met someone who identifies as a plant. A lot of competition because my last ex, like before the quarantine, she was amazing. When she would orgasm, she would have 4 orgasms every time. It was always 4. Yeah, I called her kumquat. But the data just came out, and 2019 was the highest rate of STDs in America in history. In case you needed a reason why 2020 had to happen.
Nah.
Oh man, so much crazy stuff been going on. I know this last week Biden launched an initiative to stop violence against people of Asian descent. So that's awesome. As long as people don't tell them what continent Syria and Afghanistan are on. Those ones aren't doing well today.
I like them.
Thank you so much. I was out doing some real shows last weekend. I went with a comic friend who's he's from Gen Z. Gen Z, like the thing I know about them is they sleep a lot. They sleep like 12 hours a day. So I call them Gen Z actually. But that one did better than the. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we go out and we're filming our sets on his phone camera, and I'm like, hey, can you go get your car like before my set finishes so we can be out of here quick? He's like, what about my phone? I was like, I'll grab the phone. So he goes to get his car while I'm getting off stage. His car, it's literally to the left and then to the right. It's like less than a block away. I go out after my set. I grab his camera. And he comes like 30 minutes later, like frantically, like, dude, I just had the worst panic attack ever. He's like, I didn't know how to get back here without my phone. I was like, dude, it was literally a left and a right. He's like, yeah, but it's not the same going backwards. I was like, all right. I was like, that's Generation Z for you. Like when you're going to your bathroom in your house, do you use the GPS to get down the hall as well? I'm really scared. But it's nice. It's nice being out. It's nice out doing shows again. But I am reminded how sensitive people are when you go, comedy shows. And by the way, like that's why I love doing this show. Like everybody here has such a great sense of humor, and like a wide variety of jokes play so well. It is like one of the hardest times to do comedy, in front of live crowds because people get sad, people get like sad so easily, but I understand it because I've been offended before. Like a lot of my comic friends, they don't get it. They're like, what's up with these like pussies nowadays? Like, remember back in the day when you could just pull your dick out on stage? Like, actually, no, you could never do that. I'm not sure what era of your imagination you're remembering. So I wanted to like do a study myself. So I went to watch a comedy show, an outdoor show. I went and I brought some wine and I just drank by myself in the corner. And believe it or not, 45 minutes into the show, I got offended at something a comedian said. It like triggered a memory of my ex or something. I was like, oh, kumquat. And I went home and I cried and I was like, I get it. I get why people get angry. Like I wanted to write like an angry DM on Twitter. I didn't know what to do. And but then I masturbated and I was totally fine. So that actually works. So all I'm saying is if you get offended at something a comedian says, you can go fuck yourself. It actually works. Again.
Yes.
Sammy Obeid, everybody. Sammy Obeid. Top right of the screen is our Venmo. You can PayPal at stscshow.com. Of course, Super Chat on the YouTube. By the way, Sammy, kumquat joke, hilarious. Also could be called the foregasm.
Yeah, actually, I told
never
that.
identified more with that "go fuck yourself" joke. That was the funniest
great.
joke he's ever heard in his whole life. That hit Steve. That was his demo for sure.
That was great.
So much.
I actually did once get offended at a joke because it wasn't really a joke. It was like a very poorly written thought that didn't have a punchline. That was just really unnecessarily abrasive. Like that can happen sometimes, but also like all I did was go on stage after and make fun of her. So
I mean, I'm offended by all bad. Whenever I see bad comedy, I'm offended by just because it's bad.
Yeah,
that's what happens. It's just part of it.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
I realized a while back that like I was doing a Flappers show where it was like mainly
that's a comedy club. He wasn't dressed up in some sort of outfit.
Mainly, where it's like it was like mainly new talent and then like 3 or 4 professionals. And so like I'm wading through someone's set who was like brand new and was horrible. And I'm on my phone and I'm playing an iPhone game that I love, that I will play by myself sometimes. And like I realized I would rather sit in the dark without my phone and have silence than be able to play this game while listening to what I was listening.
Also,
Ruin the
to
game.
further clarify there, Steve does play the iPhone game by himself, mostly because Kevin Sorbo doesn't reply.
I do most of that on my computer, Ben.
Also, have you guys noticed this trend of like comics sometimes will try to be supportive of other comics by putting a short clip of them on stage on their Instagram story, but they'll write at whatever, crushing, killing it, but in the 3 or 5 second clip, there's zero laughter and there's punchline. People being like, crushing it. The words have any meaning anymore. I don't understand it.
No one's ever posted that from me, Ben.
There was an indie comic that everyone used to say, sold out again, sold out again. They always picked, and one time we were at a show with like 11 people, and I go, which filter do you use to make it look sold out, bro? How does this work?
Do you mean independent comic or Indianapolis comic when you say indie comic?
Yes.
Indianapolis comic. There's no, we're all indie comics, Ben. There's no.
That was like the new term for alt comic.
No, did you ever
What's
see
that, Jen?
Jill
I
Stein
said sold
post?
out, but nobody paid for a ticket.
Oh.
Yes, exactly.
Sold out means just their material.
Did you see the thing that Jill Stein posted when like a lot of the late night talk shows were making fun of her when she was running for president about how like corporate comedy is coming after her?
Yeah.
It was the saddest, dumbest thing. It was like, if you haven't seen it, you absolutely should. It is utterly ridiculous. They're like, these corporate stand-up comics, be like, the one art form that tells people to fuck off all the time. You know, that corporate one?
Was it just all Jay Leno coming at her? There's a lot of corporates. What's that, Sammy?
What we coming in, Rach? We got tips coming in?
We do. So we had David Kelly, 10 euros for Sammy. Greg Burns Jackson, the funniest Palestinian comic I've ever seen, and the fact that he's the only Palestinian comic I've ever seen should have no bearing.
Number one.
Technic sent you 5 Canadian and said, you offended me so much. I'm definitely going to keep watching KO shows and hope you come back here. I hate you for making me laugh using logic.
That's the only tool I know. I tried making faces, it didn't work.
Brad Clark, $5 for each comic. Thank you, Brad. Tam Brown, $75. Amazing set, period.
For the punctuation, I
Nice.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Or is it? Maybe she just got her period. I don't know. Am
Period.
Dana, $75 and said, you had me at rocket science. Frankie Berman, $5. Great set. Here's money to help pay rent for your mom.
I had to mute for that one. Sorry.
Kim Stewart, $10. I love your humor and your great smile. Tam sent you another $2 for that last line. So Alexander Breyer says, can't pull your dick out on stage. Someone should have told Louis C.K.
That was backstage.
Yeah.
That was backstage.
Actually,
He talked about it on stage.
Yeah, on stage would have been less offensive than what he did.
That's true.
We also had Chili Lee Dog send each comic $10. Thank
Oh.
you. And I think
Wait,
we're
did Ben's pot pipe just tip?
Chili Lee Dog. Is that what you named your pipe?
By the way, I did not name my pipe that, no, but I have pulled my dick out on stage. I gave Steve a guest spot one time.
By the way, Ben, please call it your pot dog.
The pipe, Ben, not your dick. That's what he was talking about.
It definitely took Ben a second.
How would I call my dick a pot dog? Oh, you mean the pipe? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready for the game.
Ready for the game? Let's play this game. Let's go.
So the game today is we're going to make a TV show more government or something government, whatever. You know what I mean. If you're in a video front row and want to participate, click on reactions and raise hand. These are the unpaid entries that I liked. Dizzy by Nature had Law and Order isn't a priority. And then Alexander Breyer, Bill Nye, the Science Skeptic. All right, Jen and Sammy, these are the ones starting with these that we'll vote for. So just remember your favorite one. Lindsay Main. Go ahead first.
I just had one. Parks and Red Tape.
I like it.
Frankie Berman.
So I have three. I have Dr. Filibuster.
Nice.
Instead of taxes.
Nice.
Then my last one, instead of Pretty Little Liars, Fat Ugly Liars.
LaBelle.
All right, I have I love loosely regulated corporations. I have McConnell in the middle. And
He is not in the middle.
I have Matt Gates, SG-17.
NC-17.
Patrick.
All right, I've got Saved by the Bell, or How I Filibustered the Civil Rights Act of 1957 in 24 hours just in time to pee. Baywatch, for those mini subs. And Outer Limits, or How I Felt for the Past 4 years.
Anna Banana.
So I have the big government theory and Marjorie Taylor Greene Acres and IRS Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Tamalama Ding Dong. Yep.
Okay. I kind of have something similar to Berman's Plenty Little Liars in the Senate.
Nice.
And Jen Psaki, the fake news slayer.
Mike Cunnilingus.
All right, so I got three. I've got I Dream of Bernie. I've got Don't Trust the Mitch in Senate Seat 23. And then, Curb Your Enthusiasm for Underage Girls.
Veronica.
Okay, I'm getting back through time. Alfred Hitchcock presents The Trump. Sex and the Oval Office. And Propaganda, The Last Mindbender.
Yes.
JP hung like a bear.
All right, I got three.
It's good, but you don't fuck all winter. That's the downside.
I got Saved by the Bill of Rights. Brooklyn 99 Reasons Term Limits Are Needed. And Full House of Representatives.
Ah, nice.
Ray been playing with himself?
Rachel's in a mood.
Is your representative smarter than a fifth grader? Game of Drones. And let's make a deal for a pardon.
Nice.
Greg Burns when I pee.
You got a bad one. We can't hear you, Greg.
This awkward silence brought to you by Burning Pea.
Greg, we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Sorry, I was down at 1/5.
All right, you're good.
All right, I got C-SPAN presents Looney Tunes, Brady Bunch, and My Three Sons Are Deductible.
Brian. Oh.
All right, I've got Sons of Lobbyists. Oops. CSI Executive Branch. And Battlestar Bureaucracy.
Nice.
Ralph, I can't think of a nickname for you. We can't hear you, bud.
So much wolf shit on that beach.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Hogan's Caucus. Who wants to be a millionaire mega donor? And it's always scummy in filibuster.
Anyway, Ralph, I would like to say that the zinc oxide has worn off a little bit, and it doesn't look like zinc oxide. I think Rachel just found a nickname.
There we go. Franks
You
and
just
beans.
experienced was zing oxide.
Franks and beans.
Franks and beans. That's a good one.
Is the president smarter than a fifth grader?
Nice.
Whose law is it anyway? And NYPD blew any chance of re-election with that sex tape coming out.
Nice.
Stain Ehrlich.
Welcome to our new game. Rachel turns everybody's name into cock shit.
Here's what you were going to do with Ehrlich, but I wasn't expecting anything.
Oh, lick my balls.
Lick the balls. I don't know how to follow that.
That's always a tough one to follow.
Yeah. Freaks and Geeks.
Nice.
Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Nice.
And White House MD.
Nice.
Mike, hello to my little friend. Maybe not so little. I don't know.
All right, I have two. I have Parks and Legislation.
Nice.
Nice.
And then I have Super Pac-Man.
Brad Clark.
That's it. That's all you got. We'll try this. At Buffy the Taxpayer. The Amazing Racism. And How I Stopped Your Mother's Abortion.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yes. Cass. Oh, we can't hear you.
Right now, just pronounce your last name real quick.
Called civils, you illiterate twit. I have just two. American Horror Story DC and Major Crimes. No chance.
All right. Is there anybody else in the front row that has entries? Physically wave at me. Blue.
My speaker's off, by the way. I don't know if Cass said anything, but my speakers were off.
Blue balls, corner bill.
No.
Can we hear you? There we go.
Okay. Unsolved mysteries. How did we get anything done? goosebumps every time he asks me to stay late.
I think that's it. What
Is
else?
that
we
it?
got?
Okay, anybody else weigh physically? No. Okay, so these are the rest of the entries. We have Jonathan S. Filibusters. He has 8 pages of rules for permitting drainage of water. He's got extreme takeover, home sedition.
Nice.
Shannon Savage, Rand Paul's drag race. Marielle, Q, true Washington story. Alexander Breyer, the Oval Office, Pimp My Daughter, hosted by Matt Gaetz. Adler, how the government operates is filled with unsolved mysteries. Amina, the Cosby Show, replaced by Trump, grabbed them by the puddin' pop. They had Big Brother is watching us all. Nobody's safe. Oingo boingo. Orange is gonna wear black and white.
That's good. Oh
Amina, instead of my so-called life, you have my solitary confinement life, which is what happens to Trump's buddies post-election.
Nice.
Amina, Matt Gaetz, secret little whorehouse on the prairie. Anna Hood, sex trafficking in the city.
Nice.
Amina, this is us, unfortunately. How I explain American politics to my family overseas. Living Rhythm, saved by the suicide, legends of stealing money from children, CSI, don't use the evidence.
Oh my god.
Those might have been 3 different entries also. I've only paid once, so I get it all into one.
That makes it a little bit less dark.
Thank you so much. Josh Ritter, How to Get Away with Murder, starring John Wilkes Booth.
I don't think he got away with it. He got executed, but okay.
He had a couple days.
He lived on a farm with a broken leg for 3 days, and they shot him in the head. But other than that, he got away with it.
Howard's just never known so much about something.
I just really enjoy that it ended the same way as Old Yeller.
Razor, only aired for 4 years, thank God. CPO Sharpie. I think that's all of them.
All right. Oh man, there's a lot of really good ones. I like Jonathan S.'s Extreme Takeover Home Sedition was really good. Brad's How I Stopped Your Mother from Getting an Abortion was so dark and weird, but great. Greg's My 3 Sons Are Deductible was funny. Ray's Game of Thrones I liked. Saved by the Bill of Rights, which was JP's I liked. But I think I gotta go with I Love Loosely Regulated Corporations. The Bells. I love loosely evaluated corporations. I really like that one a lot. Jen, what's your favorite?
I also, I Love Lucy was definitely in the top. Up until, I mean, there were so many. Saved by the Bill of Rights is in my top. Fat Ugly Liars. But I think my favorite is going to be Orange is going to Wear Black and White.
Nice. Awesome. Sammy.
So good.
Yeah, so many good ones. I love Loosely as well. And Dr. Filibuster caught me right away, but I'm going to give it to I Dream of Bernie just because of the meaning of it. It's just...
Yeah. Love it. Rach.
My favorite was Orange is Gonna Wear Black and White.
Awesome. Ben.
Man, I love Loosely, IRS Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I Dream of Bernie, Super Pac-Man, Extreme Takeover Home Sedition. I'm sorry, I'll get that. Hello?
Hello, 1988. 1988 call-ins.
We have some things to tell you. Recast. No. No problem. I accept your apology for calling me. Enjoyed it. All good. That's very sincere. Thank you.
Mom, get off the line! Mom, get off the line! I'm talking to a friend.
That was my mom's landline. I'm so sorry.
My vote goes to Mike Cuniff with "Don't Trust the Mitch" in Senate Seat 23. That is so good.
That was really good. I really like that one too. That was great. Steve.
I love the "Don't Trust the Mitch." I love "Loosely." It was great. "Saved by the Bill" from JP. "Sex Trafficking in the City" from Anna. But my vote goes to "My Three Sons Are Deductible" from Greg, which means the winner is Orange. He's going to wear black and white. Claim your prize. Go to sdscshow.com. Shoot us an email and claim your prize.
Who's the winner? Who?
Boingo, boingo, long last name, Ben.
Boingo.
Nice job. Jen, do you have any?
I put the wire tap. And another one that I don't know if it's really governmental, but I put Moderna family.
Nice. Sam, you got it?
Sons of Representative Democracy. It's always stormy at the Capitol. Fresh Prime Minister of Bel Air.
Nice.
Friends, and then parentheses, my cabinet. How I Met Vladimir Putin.
How I Met Your Monster.
Sex in the Bathroom Stall and the bathroom stall. I messed that one up. Anyways, I know someone did a Curb one, but Curb Your Faith in Democracy. That was mine. Game of Senate Seats. That's not that great. Cheers, where they only serve Sam Adams. And then the last one is Brooklyn 9/11 was an inside job.
Oh my god.
Nice. Rach, you got any?
No, I don't.
Ben, Steve, how many you guys got?
I just got 2.
I got a bunch.
All right. So
All right, I'll just do both of mine. So mine are both about the Republican Party. One is the Sex Files. And the other is Mad About Jews.
I've got 60 minutes, but it takes 9 hours. Law and Order, Organized Crime. Fear the Legislating Dead. The Old and the Useless. Instead of comedians in cars getting coffee, legislators in government doing nothing. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, broken. Fine. The always failed idiot test. The nanny state. The $100 billion pyramid scheme. Pretend time. Little thoughts on the prayers. Instead of succession, succession. My second to last one, Roseanne, is headlining CPAC. And the Senate, 30 cocks.
Nice job. It's time for the song. Ben, here we go.
Hey, it's Leedy Doodle time. It's Leedy Doodle time. She texts me back during the episode, so things are cool again with us. Leedy Corbett.
Ooh, okay. All right, here we go. First up, I have my eyes, and then from the computer it says pussy. Let's just get a close up on those pasty legs.
He has bunny slippers on. I love the bunny slippers. Those
How
are
did
great.
Leedy know which boxers I was wearing?
Then next up I have I'll never let go. Do 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 do.
Oh, sell a set.
There's room for both of us on that bun.
Then I have that's totally clean. That's fine. Then I have I'm a grown ass man. Read it and weep. Then we've got the Dick Lighthouse.
Is that Stephen Tabor and his boat? Is that who that is?
Just in case you forgot, that happened at the beginning of the episode. And last but not least, Flapper Steve.
Jesus. Damn. No.
That is so good.
Why is that no? Look how good this is. This is a good look.
Fantastic. I'll never get it out of my head, though.
Neither will Steve. He's gonna start considering this as like a show look. For the vests no more.
No, it's only I'm gonna wear that on stage for 4 years, and then I'm gonna sell it on the show.
You're gonna make millions.
Comedian destroys all the hearts in 1 hour. That's
No,
at
look at the way I was dancing. Comedian destroys knees.
at Art for My Heroes and leading.com for more Hofstetter cartoon porn.
Sammy, where do we find you in the world? How do we follow you around, buddy? What you got going on?
You get the socials at Sammy Obeid, and I do a weekly virtual talk show called So Happy Hour. It's not the same day every week, which is probably bad for marketing, but you can RSVP at kocomedy.com and also be on your show tomorrow, Bowers, right? Is that correct?
Yep. You're on Origin Stories tomorrow. So
Origin Story tomorrow night.
Very cool. Thanks so much. Jen, what you got coming up?
It seemed like you forgot my name for a second right now.
I did not.
You're like, and then you looked at your screen.
No.
I'm at Jen Murphy Comedy on all social media, and I have a lot of videos on my YouTube page. Just type in Jen Murphy Comedian. I'm the only one, guys. Don't type in Eddie Murphy. Jen Murphy. That's all.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time. You guys are awesome. As for me, you can find me at Bowers Comedy, as always. Tomorrow Sammy is on Origin Stories. Check that out. It's for our Patreon. It's still Patreon only tomorrow, but check that out. And also, if you're in the Los Angeles area, I'm at the Federal Bar Thursday night. If you want to come, hit me up, and I'll get you details. It's like 8 o'clock, North Hollywood. Ben, what you got coming up?
Bowers not performing. He's just drinking there. He is performing. This Saturday is my monthly show with Greg Proops, the improv legend from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Greg and Gleib, it's a G thing. If you have not been to one, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Improv games, crowd interaction, VIP meet and greet afterwards. Should be a great time. And no new podcast episode yet to announce. I need to do that soon. So that's all that. And Indianapolis. May 11th, I'll be doing my first headlining set in a comedy club in 14 months. And someone can't handle that.
JP is very allergic to the idea of you doing stand-up.
Yes, he is. My God.
My bad.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, that's it as far as my plugs.
All right, Steve, what you got coming up?
Very excited. Brand new video came out today. It is a video detailing the Matt Gaetz saga, as well as all the horrible things he has done throughout his political career, including
It's very good.
Thank you. Including buying his original seat in the Florida House, a job that paid him $30,000 that he spent $100,000 in order to win. So clearly some shady shit happens. So if you want to see all of it, check out the video. It is already going viral, and I'm very proud of it. So check that out.
Very cool. Rach, anything you want to say before we get the audience out of here?
So yeah, I want to plug our Patreon. I don't want to brag or anything, but the Antichrist just joined it, and we're up to 119 patrons. So if we get to 125 by the end of the month, we're gonna do an all Zoom Patreon hang with everybody.
That's only one more to 125, right?
It's one more. It's only one more. That's one more. That's that one.
It's actually 6 more.
Frankie
Your fingers are like curly fries.
They are, and I'm quite salty.
Get out of here with those Arby's fingers, God damn it.
We had Shira Firestone tip the show just because Steve's so cute.
Oh, look at that.
There you go, Steve.
Well, if that was the case, the show would be making millions. Thank you.
That's the most offensive thing that you've said in that conference room.
Tactic said that's not zinc oxide. That is something about Ralph.
I'll be honest. I think I just Ralphed.
LJ sent $10 and said for Rachel, who was on fire today, thank you so much. And then
Nice.
Berman said, I think Rachel sniffed some of Ben's pot dog. All right, that's it.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Front Row, for being here. We love you as always. We will see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, Steve will have a show tomorrow. So, do we do that? What's the Night King game, Rach?
Oh yeah, so the Night King game is
So we're gonna government a song.
Government a song. So we will government. Do you have any examples of government a song? How about
Sitting on the dock of the bay, because that's how long the line is to the DMV.
I want to hold your hand, unless you're a gay couple that wants equal rights, then we'll think about it and do it decades later.
Did you guys say government a TV show? I didn't hear you right.
government a song? What about WAP? Weak ass politics.
There we go.
How about wiggity taxes? Is that right?
The Night King game, you can just tip on Venmo or PayPal like normal, and I'll choose a winner tomorrow. So you only get 24 hours as Night King.
And also, you'll be better at this than we were just then.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. Rachel,
By the way,
what's
also
your-
Rachel, I just looked and I saw Shira's tip, and she didn't say that. Did you?
I didn't call you cute. I didn't.
She's way over that. She hasn't called you cute in a year and a half.
Good night.
Oh God! All right, fun show, guys. Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a great Tuesday, everybody.
All right, goodbye.
Very eloquent. All right, good night.